If you have a real burning desire to be the man, I go do this. We'll help you make $500,000 to $1 million a year. Let us help you do that.
This is Jay Writing. He's a founding member and partner of a company called EcoShield, the third largest privately held pest control company in the United States.
Culture is king. Yeah, they're roasting us because we have too good of culture.
How do you guys help turn these college-age kids into leaders?
Our idea is recruit, train, retain. You can recruit really well. If you can't train, you can't retain, we've got nothing. We read 3 books a month, and then beyond that, we have a transformation challenge. We introduced Residual, and we introduced profit sharing. No one's broke. Come out, rip doors, learn how to sell. That's where it begins. No one conquered the world from the basement.
You go out and do door-to-door for 3, 4, 5 years. You're not scared of anything. That's
How could you be? You got a calloused mind, and you got a padded bank account.
So Jay, why the hell did you get into door-to-door?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Really good question. Well, I think I started young. When I was 16, my brother-in-law, I was like, dude, you got to go knock a few doors and sell lawn aeration.
Your brother-in-law told
My
you
brother-in-law,
that?
yeah, because
I
I
was
was
a 16-year-old kid.
16,
okay.
yeah. So we were brainstorming about how to make money during the summer, and I don't want to get a real job.
Okay,
you know what I mean? I'm not trying to punch a ticket to the Adidas
yeah.
at the outlet mall.
Yeah.
Which my other friends were doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's do it. So I went and set a bunch of appointments.
Okay.
And went and rented an aerating machine.
Okay. And
that next day, aerial all his lawns. It worked, proven concept. And so we rinsed and repeated. So that was
your first experience.
That was it.
Okay. So you go to high school. Did you go to college after that, or what'd you do?
Yeah, I ended up going to Utah Valley.
Okay, actually. UVU. Yes. Yeah. Hey, there you go.
There
Both
you go.
of us. Go Wolverines.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, I'm the only fan. I'm the only one that shows up to the Vegas tournament every year. It's just me and the parents.
With the green colors. Or what is it, like green and yellow?
Yeah,
or something?
yeah, green. Yeah,
I remember when in school there was like green and yellow. Like what?
It's still rolling.
Okay, it's still rolling, baby. So you go to school there, and how did this start with like pest control? Did you get recruited, or like what happened there?
So I met some guys in college. Some did Pest at the time in 2007 or 2006. It was Pest. It was alarms, which I know you've done.
Yeah.
And satellite.
Yeah.
So those are like those Dish was
Dish, pest control, and alarms. That was the 3 big things.
Yeah, that's right.
That's so funny.
And it was kind of in that order. It was kind of alarms, Dish, Pest.
Yeah.
Pest was the little brother, wasn't going to touch that.
Yeah.
So I sold alarms for a year with a college roommate, some friends. Yeah. And then my buddy started a pest company, and I like the idea of no credit checks. Okay. You just kind of sell who you want to sell, either spouse. Yeah. So I gave it a shot and loved it.
What was your first area? Where'd you go?
So I went to LA. So we
Los Angeles, just canvassing the neighborhoods.
We call it being born. Where were you born? So rookie year, where was I born? It came out the womb in LA. And yeah, it was.
I love that.
LA was intense.
Yeah.
It was definitely intense. LA was the reason why I developed as a trainer. For sure.
So when you say intense, was it just like it was like an oversaturated area? You just had to be more on your game. Like what caused it to be intense?
Not saturated because it was tough because it was so fast. And gals weren't used to having that fast of a pest sale. Yeah. They wanted to get inside. They wanted to go to the backyard. They wanted, and we realized that you could make a deal in 3 minutes. That it wasn't, if you could give them enough info, you could justify your existence, give them enough info, ask a few questions, give them enough info to buy, to make a decision, they'd buy. Yeah. So we hit the ground running, and we had to get creative, because they're busy. Sure. We also realized that sort of the prime time too wasn't necessarily at 7 p.m., which it is in other places. Prime time in LA is 10 a.m.
Just in the morning. Really?
Moms just drop the kids off.
Okay.
Dads are working from home. Moms work from home. People are home at 10 a.m. So, later lunches or no lunch. And that's. Yeah.
So different markets. That's so true.
Yep.
Okay. So tell us, how did you get involved with EcoShield? Because you get this huge company here. Yep. You're a founding member here. How did you get involved with EcoShield? I've heard a lot about you guys.
Yeah. Well, so I ended up from alarms into pest. My buddy owned a pest company in Cali. So I was there for 5 years. And then my buddy Gaines, he gave me the best advice I'd ever been given. This is in 2014. I was deciding whether to get off the doors. I was about to get married.
Okay, so you were doing door-to-door for 7 straight years.
Yep.
That's a long time because you're having to move every summer. Was it a summer program?
Yeah, summer program. So summer by summer, we're moving. And we were in LA, we're in the Bay Area, Corona, San Diego, all over California.
You're always moving, yeah.
Yep, yeah.
Okay.
You know the game.
Yeah, I did it for 5 summers. After a while, especially when you have kids, you're like, it's harder, yeah.
Yep. So after 7 years, I was considering throwing the towel in, and I had a nest egg saved up. I was going to go do real estate. I'd flipped a few homes. I like that.
Sure.
A little easier than the doors. And not as many phone calls. And I just I asked one of my buddies who was he was an OG at EcoShield. So he had started the first EcoShield office in 2011. It was Home Shield before that. So he had a new concept where they were going to start companies, pest companies, and keep them versus start them for 3 years and sell them to Terminix or sell them to Orkin. That's the model.
That was the model. Okay, That makes sense.
So he was the first one that I had ever heard of. And I'm certain he was the first one to ever do it where he's like, I'm going to raise contract values. We're going to hold on to customers. We're going to be able to charge enough to be able to pay our people, but also turn a profit.
Yeah.
Hire better people, keep talent on. And he was going to law school at the time too. So this guy was intriguing to me. He was a friend of mine, met him through a buddy. And I called him in 2014 and I said, I'm about to throw the towel in. I was a VP of Moxie, California.
Okay.
And he's like, what's your other option? I told him, flipping houses. He's like, dude, you remind me of a guy who just went through 4 years of college football. You were an all-star. He's like, you got all the accolades and you're about to get drafted. And you're like, maybe I should do something else. And
that's a really good analogy.
Yeah. And I was
like,
like,
guard down.
Go on. He's like, go capitalize on your skill set. So that actually got us talking and we decided to partner.
Okay.
And that was 11 years ago.
Okay. So you partnered.
Yep.
You've built this big organization. You guys talk a lot about culture because we all know culture in sales is like king, right? So how do you guys build your culture in your company to, you guys are the third largest privately held pest control company in the United States. Yep. So obviously you're doing something right with the culture. What are some things you do to build that culture that, everybody watching and listening, they're a sales leader, they're a salesperson, they could be a business owner that can help them be better at building their culture?
Well, first realize that culture is king. There's a campaign right now called culture farming that people are roasting. Yeah, they're roasting us because we have too good of culture. So people are staying for culture and not money. That's the pitch. Yeah. Don't stay at EcoShield. They're a culture farm. They're just gonna, they're gonna treat you too well. The culture's gonna be way too good, and they're gonna underpay you. They're gonna mask it with culture, which is just it's a joke. That's called straw manning. But first of all, you have to develop your own people. That's critical. So there's something called culture dilution where you go pluck. Let's say you want to build a company. If you pluck 10 all-stars from 10 different companies, maybe you've got 2 guys that are really, really good at culture. You're diluted.
Good point.
It's a real thing. And so we dedicated, and it took a long time. I mean, it took a really long time before we started making good money and having momentum, but we would only train our own people.
Okay. So rather than bring in the all-stars from some organization, because they're bringing in a different culture, a different vibe to intermingle with what you're trying to do.
And it's tempting
harder for that.
It's tempting. It's tempting to go poach teams because it's easier, but it's not easier long-term at all.
Hurts you.
And so we went and plucked out college kids. We were running ads. We're doing anything tabling, everything you could possibly imagine. I mean, I'm on ASU campus 10 years ago, question for a piece of candy, recruiting guys, mini golf with Red Bull, all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
You've been there.
Yeah.
And so train your own people is number one.
Okay.
That's number one.
I like that.
Bring them in, got to train them. And then beyond that, you have to be able to retain talent. So if you're going to train them, how do you keep them? Yeah. So you have to have a model that works for someone who wants to be here for 1 year, 3 years, and 20 years.
Okay.
And so we developed that. And that took a long time to develop too.
Where did you build that model from? Like, who did you learn that model from, or what happened where you came up with that model? I like that.
Yeah. Well, success leaves footprints. We know that. So we watched the big brother Vivint do it. It was, they were Apex, then Vivint, home automation for those of, y'all who don't know. They're the first $1 billion door-to-door company. Yeah. And they were doing a residual program 10 years ago. And so we knew residual was going to have to be a piece of it, right? Yeah. The motto is going to be, you're not just as good as your last summer.
Yeah. You're building that base, so you keep coming back each year because you don't want to give. It's almost like life insurance, right? Yep. So you get like that little extra 5% after a year where they're still paying, that you're getting that monthly. Yeah,
that's right. And then on top of that, my brother-in-law owns an insurance brokerage, and so we took some of his pieces about how it's paid and qualifications, and then we gave them what our old model was, where we were trying to just give equity away. You'd have to put $100,000 into a branch. You get a chunk of equity. You work your ass off, not make any money for 3 to 5 years, legitimately, unless you sold. That was real. That's what entrepreneurship is. Welcome. And no one was biting. They'd go ask their dad, "Should I put $100,000 in this pest company?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah. And if their dad's not an entrepreneur, they're like, "No, go. Just
absolutely
work."
not. Those guys are evil.
Yeah.
Pyramid scheme. And so 6 years ago, we changed everything, and it changed everything for us, where we introduced residual and we introduced profit sharing.
Yeah.
And along with that, guys can still earn overrides. They can still earn commission. They can still go earn. No one's broke.
Yeah.
And so that residual takes care of their needs. So our guys, they're making $40,000 to, $200,000 a year in residual.
Yeah.
So that's coming
plus
in
their
regardless.
sales and everything.
Plus their sales.
So as long as they hit like a certain amount for their office or whatever, they get like a profit share of like the whole office.
That's right. That's right.
That's
all the
amazing.
revenue they've ever done nationally, wherever it is, they get a residual on it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yep.
How has that helped you retain those people? Like what were the shifts you saw? Like you used to lose 20%, now we lose 5%. Like what did that do?
Well, one thing there I got to give a plug to, because we have haters. Every year I wake up to a new hater, which is amazing.
Always going to be haters.
What's the best part?
Anytime you do something great, there'll always be people that, I don't want to call them dumb or anything, but if they just got that, look, if you learn from what these guys are doing, you could actually be much better rather than hating on them.
That's right.
Because successful people, I don't know one successful person in my life that I've ever met that hated on anybody that for anything because they're too busy doing their own thing,
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Hey guys, Jeremy Miner here. A lot of you guys keep asking me really good questions in the comments on how to sell more. So the easiest way to actually get a hold of me is to actually text me way faster. So 480-418-6755. So text me at 480-418-6755, because here's the deal. I started this sales training company to help you finally master sales and persuasion once and for all, which is I know what you want to do. So text me and then let's get back to the show.
Well, one of the things we try to explain is because a guy will have $25 million in active revenue, for example, on his team. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at that rate, he's making $220,000 in cash plus perks, but that's just the residual piece.
Yeah.
And the haters will go $220,000 for $25 million. They'll just do that math. That's terrible. And we're like, settle down, but also let's do some math here. What is residual worth? If you want to go buy a home, it's $150,000 right now as a down payment to buy a decent home. Rents with interest rates, you're making $500,000 a door. I have them. I know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're the same way. So let's say it's $1,000. So you put $150,000 down and you're making $1,000 a month. Okay. So let's just say it's a net 12,000. It's 8% or so.
Yeah.
I bring that up because I go, how much cash do you have to make to equal the residual that we're paying you, that you wake up to every day, no matter what?
Without having to invest your own money into it.
No money in. So 220,000. Well, the answer is millions and millions and millions. So these guys who have $25 million in active revenue, they have a residual that you would have to take $5-10 million in cash to go buy homes, for example.
It's not realistic.
Just to equal. So
Yeah.
the reason it's retained and the reason it's done so well is guys want certainty. They do. They want some level of certainty. We call entrepreneurship on training wheels.
Yeah.
Where
It's true.
we're going to get you there.
Yeah.
We're 100% going to get you there. And if you have a real burning desire to be the man, like I want to go start my own thing, I just want to be the man, I go do this. We'll help you make $500,000 to $1 million a year. Let us help you do that.
Because what's the percentage of businesses? I think a lot of people don't realize. They see somebody on social media like, oh, that person's the man. I need to go start my own thing like them before they, a lot of times, have the necessary experience and wisdom to do that. And they don't realize that, what is it, in your first 2 years, 97% of those businesses go under.
That's right.
And within a total of 5 years, half of those go under.
That's right.
So within 5 years, only about 1.8% are still there. And that doesn't even mean that those are profitable 5 years later.
Well, salesmen though.
Yeah.
Sales guys and gals are confident. They're not, there's no way they're that percentage. Well, so I tell them, listen, whatever sales industry you're in, whether it's door-to-door or whatever, if you have a residual, you're in insurance, don't get so caught up that you don't own the insurance company. Don't get so caught up that you didn't start it 30 years ago. If only I would have, whatever.
Yeah.
Go be the man at something else. Start your clothing company, start your real estate company,
side,
whatever it is.
Yeah. Especially real estate. You can take that money and put it into real estate.
No,
right?
go
For
flip homes, do it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And be the man doing that. You can get, I don't know, I think you can
It's just
get
a much
that
safer avenue to get there, right? Because you've got this money coming in. And the reason why most of these people go broke is because they cut off their money that was coming in, right? And they have no money coming in. And when they start it, they don't realize that, sometimes it takes a while before you make any profit because you got to hire people and there's all this overhead. They don't think about that as a salesperson.
Yeah, it hurts.
And now they don't have any money coming in to help pay for that. And that's why they go under a year, 6 months, a year later.
Or they do leave and they go do 1 year, but they're in Pest, for example, they sell and they're the technician and they answer the phones and they go, I made $100,000 my first year. Owning a business is easy. And I go, scale it.
Yeah. What are you going to do now?
Scale it.
It's a whole different mindset to run a business. It's a whole different way of thinking because now all the risk is on you.
It's painful.
And if you don't have the right people that you've hired, you could go under for that. If you don't, let's say you have a business partner and they're not the right type of business partner, you could go under so many other factors. So the safe way, I agree with you. The safe way is like, hey, keep this money coming in that you're doing, like focus on your thing. And then on the side, you can start this other thing, right, in real estate or whatever. And you've still got this safety net right here coming in to help you pay that. It's just you're less likely to fail.
And I don't want the guys to even, so that's one aspect of it. And I'll say to guys too, like, I'm not even asking you to take the safe route. This is just the sort of guaranteed of the risky routes.
Yeah.
Your mom's going to tell you this is insanely risky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, you got about a 1.8% chance you're going to be in business after 5 years. And that doesn't even mean that you're going to be profitable. That's just companies that are still there 5 years.
Just wait till they make $100,000, then have to pay taxes on 200 because they don't understand how cash flow works.
Exactly. All right. So how do you guys help turn these college age kids into like leaders?
That's a good question. Yeah, it's a good question. And we're really strategic about it. The second summer ends, we put them through our first leadership program. It's called the MDP, Management Development Program.
I like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So our idea is recruit, train, retain. You can recruit really well. If you can't train them, you can't retain them. You've got nothing. So once you've recruited them, you got to train them and you got to retain them through the summer. But then it goes on repeat.
Yeah.
Now you have to train and retain them in a leadership aspect. And so we have workshops that we host 6 a year throughout the off season. We don't call it the off season. We call it the recruiting season. So you have sales season and recruiting season.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's true. That's the way it is. The 8 months is recruiting season. The sales season is the 4 months.
We stop pitching. Come work for 4 months. You take 8 months off. It's not true. Not if you want to build something.
That's true.
So, and from there, so we have monthly workshops. We're bringing speakers. We teach them how to lead. It's not just hoorah rah. There's some of that. It has to be some of that, but it's how to lead.
There's tactical skills.
It's how to sit your guys down for an interview, do a one-on-one to see how they're doing. It's it's how do you handle and have a critical conversations, crucial conversation. How do you do all these things? A lot of salespeople are selfish, and that's why they're so good.
Yeah.
And I hear you say that.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's me. And as soon as someone starts going you, sales actually will go up, but it might take time.
Sure.
And so we try to instill that through our process. And then we have weekly phone calls where we have new topics every week. And then beyond that, we have
keeping them engaged.
Very engaged.
And I think that's really brilliant because you know as well just as I do is like after that 4 months is over, they might be recruited by 12 different companies selling alarms or solar or whatever it is.
They are.
And if you're keeping them engaged with something that's going on every week, it's like they become part of the community and they don't want to leave the tribe. That's what it is. It's just tribe. It's just social dynamics.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah. And the best companies do that. And some guys, I'll tell them too, like, well, that's actually not that important for me. I go, well, it's important to your people that you're going to bring on. Yeah. You want to have a sticky culture. You want to retain them. Recruit, train, retain. You want to do that. You have to have some kind of culture. And so then we also have a book club. We read 3 books a month. And the reason it's 3 is because our managers read 1, our rookies read 1, our managers read 2, and our partners read 3.
I love that.
And Atomic Habits, ripping through that right now.
Okay.
And then beyond that, we have a transformation challenge. So
what's that?
When the summer ends, we pick a day in September, and then we go 100 days to get back in shape. Really? The summers are tough on the body. Summers are tough. It's difficult to balance. Success isn't built through balance always at first.
You might not necessarily get overweight or fat, but you just lose a lot of your muscle because you don't have as much time to work out.
Lots of
you're tired.
And it depends on your body type. Some guys gain weight, some guys lose weight.
That's true.
And some guys are
depends on what part of the country you're in,
True.
Like if you're like down in Texas or Florida,
you're sweating
to death,
it's gone. Yeah, the weight's
you're losing
gone.
5 pounds a day if you're somewhere else,
Which some of these guys who are fit, it's the opposite. They need to, bulk back up or whatever. So we have a transformation challenge where we have different categories. One's who can make the biggest transformation, and then we have overall physique, just who looks the best.
Wow.
And that's driven me. I'm 37.
Yeah.
And I won the transformation part in 15 and 16, which means I got really, I lost a lot of weight and gained it back and lost it again. So I guess I don't know if it's good or bad. But
get it.
Yeah. That's what started me on a healthy journey.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Like you don't just do it for your people, you do it for everyone. And if you're not doing it,
well, you're the leader. Leaders lead by example.
100%.
Right?
You have to do it. So those 3 things, which is keep engaged,
Mm-hmm.
really teach them how to lead and manage, right? And leading and managing is different, as you know. Good managers recruit and train and get them to summer. Leaders get them through a summer and get them to come back. Big difference.
There's a big difference. It's a big difference in revenue for the company.
It is. And
because you're always losing people. It's like you're always retraining them for the next summer. And they, with a new rep, typically they're going to start off a little bit slower that first 2 or 3 weeks if they're brand new compared to like now it's their second summer. They're hitting the doors like, bam, they already know what to do.
Yeah.
You can't, the amount of money that is a gain there by just getting people to come back because they already know what to do is crazy.
No doubt. Yep.
So give me some other things. So led teams generate over 100 million in revenue. What's a big lesson that you've learned really at scale that maybe when you first started, like you had no idea, but you kind of learned, somebody taught you how to do it that had already done it, or you had to kind of learn it on your own?
Well, the first thing I realized is when I was certain, I then became uncertain. So I knew that whatever I knew for sure, I didn't know for sure because the tides change.
Sure.
Which was really important. So I would take new advice, I would adapt, I'd have to do that. And so in specific, I had to set expectations with my people to begin with. Expectation setting and vision building, which was absolutely foundational for my people, which is, this is going to take time. Okay. Yeah. Patience is absolutely key because if we're going to build something, you have to be patient. So, as we were building teams, it was, you wanted to grow as fast as possible. You wanted to open markets and plant your flag. It was like, that's how you show you were growing. And that was the first thing I changed. I was taught it was a good thing. Yeah. Growth is good. And we changed, which was, I would rather have $100 million in Phoenix than $100 million across 10 locations with 10 million each.
Yeah. Cause the overhead.
No doubt about it. But it's not that simple because you got pressure from sales guys who want new doors. You've got your pride aspect. You want to travel. Sure. You know what I mean? Right? You want to plant your flag in new locations. And so I think that was probably the biggest, which was consolidate. And number two was keep everybody working. Yeah. Keep everybody working. We don't have anyone that rests on their laurels. I travel. So I travel 100 days a summer still.
Okay.
I was on the road for 100 days this summer.
What do you go out? Just like doing meetings in the offices, going on the doors with them? What do you do?
All of it.
Yeah.
Yep. So I trained every one of my people for the first 8 years, every single person in my company personally.
Okay. Wow.
And that was a massive jumpstart for us.
Yeah.
Because I got those touches, and now,
Plus it inspired him. It inspired your people. Like, wow, founders out here on the doors with us. It's a big,
you gotta show
a lot of respect, If you're like, especially if you're like closing a deal or helping out a rep, they're just like, whoa, founders, that's awesome.
And what you know for sure is that if you're gonna be somewhere for 20 years, there's gonna be people that are gonna start to emulate you. And I knew that if I stopped traveling at 34, 30, at 31 to 32 when I started having kids, what are my guys gonna do? Everyone's gonna grow up.
The same thing.
And so I think that was another massive lesson to learn, which is one of the reasons we've had so much success is because all of our top guys have traveled. My VP, who's on obviously just my equal partner, but he's our VP. So he's got a little bit more responsibility. He still travels.
Yeah.
And so there's nobody that rests on their laurels. And because of that, I think that's really shot us to the moon.
They perform. What do most people misunderstand about door-to-door sales? Like reps, like what do most people like have? What's a myth out there about, I shouldn't get into door to door? Like maybe they're in college or something, like I shouldn't get into door to door. I obviously know that. I always tell salespeople, like younger ones, they're like, hey, where should I start? I'm like, either go door to door or sell B2B and cold call, because you start to learn, you have to be really quick, like very quick-witted on the doors, because there's a lot going on in the brain when you knock on somebody's door and they don't know who the hell you are, or they answer a phone cold call, they don't know who you are. And you have to learn how to be like really quick with like reframing and stuff. It's not like an inbound lead that sits there and tells you something and you sit back and pause and think for a second. And if you master that, when you get into other type of sales or things, it's almost like it's like the Matrix where you watch the bullets go by because everything else seems so slow,
Yeah.
But what's a misconception that a lot of these college kids have about door to door?
Well, because I'm not recruiting, these 25-year-olds from like, farm sales.
Yeah.
We gotta remember the dynamic. Like you're saying, college kids, this is an 18-year-old kid. And what I've had to teach them is this is not your career, because doors don't seem sexy.
Yeah.
Mom doesn't want them to do it. Mom thinks it's dangerous. Dad doesn't want them to move away from home.
Yeah.
And actually, we just had a presentation from a guest speaker, Jake Rose, who's a world religions professor.
Okay.
He's in study right now. And he talked about how no great epic has ever happened in history without traveling.
Very true.
You gotta leave home.
That's true.
That's number one.
Yeah,
gotta leave home.
The nest.
Gotta leave.
Yeah.
That's where it begins. Yeah. No one conquered the world from the basement.
Very true.
And so I think when I'm explaining that this is not going to be your career, this is one summer, buddy. This is come out, rip doors, learn how to sell. Do I recommend you do it for 3? Yes, because you need to sell, you need to get better at selling, and then you need to not quite master, but become super, super fluent, which really doesn't happen. Because think about it, 4 months, you're not totally fluent.
Sure.
How could you be?
Yeah, you can't.
You learn a language, 4 months, you're not fluent. 8 months, that's 2 summers, 12 months now of knocking. You really start to get fluent. But then also they need to learn how to lead.
Yeah.
And so it's another misconception that it's just for the doors. It's not just for the doors. You want to, at the end of the 3 summers, you could have easily 6 figures saved in your bank account. And you could have on your resume that you've managed a multi-million-dollar team, personally put $1 million in revenue and managed a multi-million-dollar team.
Compared to, working at a grocery store. Or
Chipotle.
Your employer's not going to care about that.
No, they don't. Or even worse, which I think is worse, is the internship craze.
Oh, yeah.
I just got in my dad, traditional route, but what are we talking about?
Yeah. So you don't know anything.
Good job by, following, you're just a rung.
Yeah.
So.
And now you got all this debt, possibly. Whereas, somebody goes in there, learns how to sell well. Like you said, they could have 6 figures saved up. They got some investments. Maybe they even bought like a rental property
easily
while they're in college.
Easily. And so that's a misconception. Guys think I need, whatever I jump into is going to be a career. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's much more than just the doors. And I 100%, obviously I'm biased, but yes, go to the doors for a year. 100%. Everybody.
It just teaches you self-control of your mind. That's what I, besides the skills, it teaches you you got to get out of the car and go knock on doors.
Yeah.
And it's like you're mastering your mind. You master the mind, you can really go do anything. You can't master your mind. You're scared. You're scared of picking up the phone. You're scared of that prospect you got to talk to, maybe in your next sales career, or you're scared to negotiate. You go out and do door to door for 3, 4, 5 years. You're not scared of anything.
How could
easy.
You be?
It's pretty simple.
How could you? You got a calloused mind.
Yeah.
And you got a padded bank account.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so I want to ask you. So sales leaders have setbacks. What's been one of the toughest things you guys had to overcome in building up this empire in pest control?
Yeah. It was that we had an infinite game. That's one of my favorite books by Simon Sinek. When you have an infinite game mindset, there has to be an incredible amount of patience because we weren't selling our locations. These guys' books look totally different when our competitors aren't playing the same game.
Yeah.
They're playing this finite game, a 3-5 year game where they would put on customers, get super, super bloated, unload the books, and maybe make $10 million as a company or $2 million, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So we weren't playing the same game. That was by far the most difficult because we weren't doing signing bonuses. Every extra dollar we were either paying partners or putting into our leadership program.
Yeah.
And so we felt like we were playing a bit of a fixed game at first. And then what people started to realize was that the comp models that had signing bonus, the comp models that were year to year, it would never retain long-term good talent.
Yeah, you'd lose people.
You would. And so by doing it this way, now we look back after 10 years, I've got an insanely talented partner level 25 to 30-year-old that lives in all of our locations, all 50.
Yeah.
And you just don't have that anywhere else.
Yeah, you wouldn't have.
But after this many years of doing it, so we felt like we were playing a rigged game. And so I give 2 pieces of advice to guys who want to start a company. I go, number 1, get ready to disappoint people. And it's not because you're not going to keep commitments, but entrepreneurship can be disappointing. And number 2, get ready to go have a lot of fun. That's it. Get ready to disappoint people. Get ready to have a lot of fun along the way. And then beyond that, you have to be able to adapt. So
because this is like a new model you're starting that people weren't used to. So for that to succeed, it's all how you frame that. It's all how you frame that. Where it's like you got these different models, and the company that wins is the company that is able to frame how they do their business model better to the crowd,
and then then with the largest time frame.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. In experience. So obviously in sales, experience matters, wisdom matters. The more you sell, the more your brain recognizes patterns and prospects, right? You start to recognize the body language, the facial expressions, their tone, right? You don't really recognize that even your first summer, I don't think. I think it takes several summers in your door-to-door to really recognize that. What type of training do you guys put? What's your training program consist of that really helps them to start to develop that? I call it the EQ of sales. That
emotional intelligence of sales for sure. Yeah. Well, game film's number 1.
Yeah.
Number one. So we force everyone to record the door. Just put your voice recorder on, put your phone in your pocket, and just listen to yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to watch yourself necessarily. And because we'll do that for you once in a while when we come knock with you. But guys and gals always be like, just come knock with me. Like, and I go, listen, by watching someone really good knock, it's not going to necessarily help you. Do you get better at hoops by watching LeBron? I mean, I don't think you get better. You get inspired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's number one. You got to record yourself. And number two, all of our training, none of it's role play. None of it. We have a massive data pool of live sales where we've blanked out the customer's face. We do hidden camera.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is, we blank the customer's face out. There's no address. There's no anything.
You're compliant. Yeah.
Yeah. Compliant. So our guys and gals from jump, they're seeing live sales.
Yeah.
Which the way I was trained was all role play sales. It was like the mom. And it's so obvious.
Yeah, it's a different role playing compared to actually seeing it in action. It's completely different because you can see like, oh, did you see like where that, prospect, did you see how his tone shifted when you asked that question and you just thought he was ready to buy and you try to close him. He's like, well, I'm not ready yet.
That's
because
right.
he was a little bit hesitant.
That's right.
You should have said this. And so it's basically getting them to watch it, but also like it's almost like Tom Brady watching game film. You're like going through like why this works and why this didn't work. Because once they understand the psychology behind it, then it's really easy to sell. If they just kind of mimic it, but they don't understand why they're doing it, that's when it doesn't really land.
That's right. Actually, it makes me think of something, which is just belief in general, which is if someone watches a role play for their training video, how could they have belief that what the person's doing works? It's fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're going to see simple things that they might have thought, oh, that would have never worked, but it's real. So they know it works.
Yeah.
So all these little, because sales is simple, as you know. And so then they start to really implement all these super simple things. And so I think that's been the game changer.
Gives them certainty.
Yep. So just those two simple things.
Gives them certainty. If salespeople don't have certainty, that's when they get timid on the doors. That's when they overplay their hand. So for young salespeople listening, what's one skill they should master? Like they're brand new in sales. What do you feel like is one skill that's like vital you got to master as a salesperson?
I think road mapping.
Okay.
So road mapping. So one of the role plays that we'll do is like a fire off roadmap. So if you're a roadmap, so we have checkpoints in our sale. So my checkpoints are intro, issue, anchor, close. And then in my closing cycle, I have a backyard inside, we just call it environmental close. So we've got intro, issue, anchor,
so the intro is like the door approach.
Intro, door approach. Issue, I get them to admit the problem.
Okay. Yeah.
Anchor, we set expectation for other companies typically will do. And then
are you doing that to like prevent prevent an objection, like they come back and switch to somebody else, or I'm going to keep looking? Is that what you're doing there with that? You're preventing that objection? Or
what I'm really trying to do there is actually a little bit more simple. We've gotten bigger anchors where some guys will have like these long scripted anchors, which kind of hit all of the, that we're going to be a year-long contract and all these different things. The anchor point that I've been hitting on mostly is like when you go to the gas station and you have a candy bar and it's $1.50, but there's a line through the $1.50. It's actually 79 cents today. That line is there 360 days a year, right? The line is the anchor. I want them to go, oh, that's what it could cost, but this is what you charge.
Yeah.
This is so our anchor. So
you're price anchoring.
We're price and service anchoring.
Okay.
In both. Yep. So anchor point and then price sheet close, where we give them enough info about price, we give our first close. So those are the first checkpoints. And then after that, we get in our closing cycle. So it's either someone gives an answer or an objection. That's the only possible option. Either say yes or they say no in the infinite amount of no's. Yeah. Call it a no vertical. And then inside the objection or answer, you stay there. So someone gives you an objection, you obviously receive, build value, overcome, reclose. Someone asks you a question. That's a big misconception for folks where they want to just talk, build a ton of value. Well, I just asked a question.
Yeah.
Answer close. So after price sheet close, they stay in this closing cycle based on the answer or the objection. And then the last checkpoint is movement. So el movimiento, es vida. Movement is life. So that's from my favorite. That's from World War Z. That's Brad Pitt. Movement is life.
Oh yeah. Okay,
and so we tell them once that cell starts to die, move them.
Yeah.
So we have one of our trainees is called that. So move them. And so that's the last checkpoint and they stay inside the closing cycle. So my point was one of the best things someone can do is understand the simple checkpoints and then repeat them over and over in your mind. So
You
know where to
understand
go.
the stages of the sale is what
That's
you're
right.
saying.
That's right.
Because you don't understand the stages of sale, you're just winging it.
That's right. And
You don't really know where to
if
go.
you can
You don't
get
have a
that,
path.
guys go, what's next?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really care how much detail you got in between. Just get to the next one.
Yeah.
To
get to
begin
the
with.
next stage. Yeah.
Yep.
Make sure you got what you need, get to the next stage. Okay. So, when I was in door-to-door, first career there in college, 2000s, didn't have the ring cams. So that started coming up like 10, 12 years ago. How do you guys do that to make sure that you still get them to the door? What do you guys actually, we teach door-to-door some people to do some pretty cool things, but what do you guys do?
Well, a few things is never ring them.
Okay.
That's
a good point.
That's for starters. Some of them are automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so the first ones, don't ring them. I knock, re-knock, then maybe a third knock.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. And I go quieter, louder and louder. I
got to say something
Yeah.
to this. I know how the door-to-door culture is. It's like, it's so funny because it's like right when that first ring cam was probably in the first store, a door-to-door salesperson came up to it and was like, what is this? And like ringed it.
Yeah.
And then this happened and like everybody comes back to the powwow in the office and like, what do we need to do? Blah, blah, blah,
For
blah,
sure.
blah. It's like this powwow and they're like, don't ring it. Just knock on the door.
That was me.
But that's what it is. I know the culture.
Oh yeah. They came back at night for a night training. Dude, there's all these doorbells.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Like we can't sell,
Yeah, it
so
is hard.
we in the door-to-door game, like you come up with solutions really, really quick.
You do. You have to.
Keep going. Yeah, I love that.
If it goes off, they'll hello. They're and they may or may not be home, which you have to realize because they're answering from their from their phone.
app. Yeah.
And so we just give them a quick line. So and everyone's a little bit different, but one of my lines I like to give guys is just took care of the neighbor, just got something real quick for if you wouldn't mind coming out. And you step away far enough where they think they can't hear you.
Yeah. Okay,
where they think that you can't hear them.
Okay.
Yep. So that's that. And then the third piece of that, admittedly, which I think would be dumb not to
So
just
you're triggering curiosity with that is what you're doing. You're triggering curiosity.
Enough info. Enough info where you're not a robber.
Yeah.
And I want to get close to so they can see me.
Yeah.
So the first one, so it's, I'm looking right at it with a smile.
Yeah.
So it's, hey, I just got something real quick for you. Took care of John next door. Just got a quick question for you. Walk
third
away.
party validation with the neighbor. Yes. So there's more trust there. Yeah.
And I think the face is a big deal too.
Yeah.
So you're not trying to hide. I want to let you know, I'm not going to steal anything from you because look at my face. It's on camera.
Yeah.
Little justification of where you're at. And then I think what I was saying is that I think I also have to admit that it has affected things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the modern era has affected things. Nextdoor app has affected things. Ring app has affected things. This guy's in the area. Don't answer. Like it does affect things. And so the only possible solution there is volume.
Yeah. And it's just really how you come across on the doors too. Because if you don't have the skill sets on the doors and you trigger a lot of sales resistance and you piss people off, that's not gonna be good for you. But if you're actually really, really good at disarming a prospect, even if they don't buy, they don't really go say, don't talk to the guy next door.
Yeah.
So it's all about how you disarm the prospect or not.
No doubt.
Yeah, 100%. You don't learn how to do that, you're gonna be screwed in that whole neighborhood. I love it. All right, first rapid fire. First sale you ever closed. Where?
16 Portland, Oregon. Was that aeration deal? And then alarms 18 in Idaho.
Boom. Where in Idaho? Where you at?
I was in Pocatello.
Pocatello. My first area I got assigned to in door-to-door alarms was Boise, Idaho. There you go. It all started for me. I think I sold the whole town. Harder to master. Which
25 people.
Which one do you like? Napa, Caldwell? Okay. Which one do you like best? Recruiting or selling?
Selling.
Why?
I think it's because you get to see the finished product faster.
I like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of validation in it. You get that hit of dopamine. It's real.
Most underrated skill every sales rep should develop.
Question asking.
Love it.
If that's underrated.
That's well, for most salespeople that is. You just haven't learned it yet. One word that defines a great sales culture. One word.
Patience.
I like it. One thing you look for immediately when you're interviewing somebody.
It's unquestionably, can you hold a conversation? That's it. Because if you can hold a conversation, I can teach you to keep it going. And so I'll ask questions. If they don't get any kind of long form answer, I get nervous.
If they give me like one or two word answers.
Yeah, so it's like, dude, we got to be able to keep this conversation going. So I think that's
a good point. Yeah.
First, that's it. Do you have the skill set to be able to do that? And talking clearly.
You have confidence.
That's where we're starting. Because we can nitpick sales guys all day long, but that's the starting point.
Yeah, the certainty. Biggest sales myth you wish people would stop believing.
That you have to manipulate to sell. It's not even close to true. I hate that word in sales. It's persuasion.
Yeah.
The United States is built on the backs of door-to-door guys.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
And it's, the world doesn't move without it. And so I think we need to stop believing that you have to be so pushy and so manipulative. Not true at all.
The salespeople that are most manipulative, most pushy, typically are your average salespeople. They're not that good.
Yeah,
the best salespeople in the world at door-to-door or anything are the ones who the prospect doesn't even feel like they were sold.
Yes, that's right.
That's what persuasion
at the
is.
end of it, they go, I never do this. Yeah, that's my favorite.
I never do this.
I never talk to door-to-door
or they
guy.
say, I was going to do this anyways.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Glad I'm here.
That's when when they don't even feel like they talk to a salesperson,
right.
that you're starting to understand persuasion.
100%.
And here's a way to reframe your guys. Selling something you do to people or selling something you do for people. Do you do it to them or for them? You're doing it for them because if you can't sell them, if you can't help them relive their pain, have this fear of future pain, they don't feel any need to change. They don't feel any need to change. Their problems stay the same. And whose responsibility was that? Yours. So you're not doing it to them. You're doing it for them.
Right.
You're solving their problems. All right, man. Where can they go to learn more about you, EcoShield? Maybe they might be a young guy or gal wanting to get into sales. Where do they go to learn more about your opportunities, what you guys offer?
Yeah, shieldhiring.com. Shieldhiring.com is the best place to go. Learn. They'll just get a quick brush up of what we do. You can apply there. Okay. I also got to give a shout out. I run a wholesale hat company, Billist. My partner, Tyler Nash, he's the boy.
Okay.
And we just landed a massive contract supplying blank hats to the country.
Really?
Yeah, Billist. Yep, BillistWholesale.com.
Okay.
So yeah, we do all blanks, exclusively blanks. Our motto is blank is better. Then you can put whatever you want on it. But yeah, shieldhiring.com. It's
okay.
Any 18-year-old that's out there that wants to learn how to do it, we're going to teach you how to do it. We're going to draw a line. We're essentially going to put you in a box, and I'm never going to ask you to do anything that's outside your comfort zone as far as integrity.
Yeah.
We're going to train you the right way.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a 1-year opportunity, a multi-year opportunity. And beyond that, you're going to be around very, very, very talented guys and gals. Like I said, we have a partner that lives in every location. Nobody has that. Yeah. It's the owner that lives, back in the ivory tower who's going to tell you what to do. So in the summer, you have 2 options. You have doors or the curb. That's it. Yeah. And if you don't have a good support system around you, you've got nothing. Yeah. And so I think that's what makes us different, and that's where to find us.
No, you guys have a legit company. I've ran into people, and anytime they bring up your guys' company, I've never heard anybody say anything but positive things about it. So well done.
We appreciate
you guys have
that.
built a great culture. Congratulations. All right, Jeremy Miner, to the next episode. Make sure you go to that website he just gave you. We'll put it in the show notes. Until next time, make sure you keep learning. Commitment to mastery. You're not a winger. You're not a dabbler. You're not a know-it-all for sure. You're committed to mastery. That's why you watch and listen to the show. We'll see you in the next episode.